I'm not even going to greet you guys today. Because what just happened? You already know how this works. I'll show the ranks and then give my predictions. There's quite a lot going on BP Twitter and other socials. But I'm planning on making a separate video for that. But feel free to talk about all that on the comments anyways. Most of the filler also was pretty uneventful from what I know. However, voting for the final song center has also started. Anyways, that's all I'll be going over. I'll add more info and recap on the episode itself in the pinned comments. Here are the current ranks. And as always, here's the specific sections. Their Korean, international and overall ranks. As always, if I don't go over your FUV trainee, feel free to talk about them in the comments. I'll also be going over some eliminated trainees. But like last time, those will be quick. I included some of the obvious ones. But since next week is the debut team, I also want to predict their placement. I see Hanbin placing in the top 4 at least. I really hope he does debut in the number 1 spot, because that'd just be awesome. But I can't shake the feeling of the possibility of another YENA or Jiwoong happening where he'll drop significantly. I doubt that'll happen, but I still shake a little. The only other trainees I see possibly taking the number 1 spot is Jongho and maybe Jiwoong. They both have huge one-pick fandoms and have pretty much always placed high. However, in the worst case scenario, I actually see Jiwoong dropping out of the top 9 and Jongho dropping to 6th. I don't have much to say about Tae and YEONJUN, other than I see them debuting in the top 6 or even top 5. Same thing with Gyuvin, I see him in the top 7, but Gyuvin took me by surprise. The past 2 eliminations I held the same prediction, that he wouldn't really debut since I thought he didn't really have that much of a solo fanbase. But Gyuvin went from 16 to 7 in a single week. His fanbase is huge and I definitely now see him debuting. I know a lot of people dislike Gyuvin, but I personally don't mind. If he debuts, I'm more or less focusing on my favs now and only them. I definitely see his appeal and why everyone likes him. And I also see why some may not want him to debut, and just saying me personally, I DC. I still stand by the point I made last elimination. Keita has a huge international fanbase and has ranked first international 2 eliminations in a row. However, I still feel like out of the safe trainees, he's the most in danger. I still have hope he'll debut decently high though. These are the members I see debuting low or at in the most danger. I see Matthew debuting, but with how much he's dropped and with the multiple hate trains and allegations, it's harder to predict his exact final placement. However, his fancam, which is being used for the final center position, is doing really good and is currently the most watched as of writing this. So even so, I actually see him having a higher chance than most. I sadly don't see Ricky debuting, but if I'm being honest, I don't really see who debuting either. I see Gunwook, Jun Hyan, and Park Hanbin as the most likely PO9. I still have pretty much the exact thoughts on Jae and Hood, as I've been having for every elimination. I'm not too sure either will debut, but they'll place high perhaps. They might even be a candidate for the top 9. I sadly don't see Camden, Janghyun or Jongwoo debuting. But like I said, I see Jun Hyan having a chance and Soonjin climbing in ranks more. That's pretty much the top 18 done and predicted, which took shorter than I thought, so let's talk about some eliminated trainees. This elimination was both surprising but also not surprising. I can't really explain it lol. I'm actually super shocked Horda and Zihao didn't make it. Both of them have been going viral in the past 2 weeks. Zihao especially. I honestly feel that if Zihao had made it into the finals, he would have ranks really high or even debut. His fancams had gone super viral and were even beating some of the most popular trainees in views. Net was also kinda shady since they didn't show Zihao's votes, despite ranking 19th, when they've shown all of the other trainees who ranks 1 less place from survival. I'm also a little surprised Woonki and Seowon didn't make it. And I'm kinda sad they didn't either. I really wanted to see another Planet Camp tour. And like I mentioned a bit earlier, Haruto didn't make it when I fully expected he would, and even more surprising is that he ranked 22nd. I didn't see him debut. but I definitely didn't see him drop this much. Those are all my predictions. But I want to talk about the G to K ratio. In the final out of 18 trainees there's 6 G trainees. However, only for our non-Korean. I understand this is a K-pop group, so the ratio isn't going to be equal. But when you promote your show and let alone your group as global, then this becomes unacceptable. I really hope that by the next show, which should be another Girls Planet, that they drop the G versus K or KCJ or whatever altogether, since it simply isn't working. It didn't work in Produce 48, where the show was comprised of over half of foreign trainees and only 3 debuted in a group of 12. It definitely didn't work in Girl Planet 999, where 66 out of 99 were foreign trainees and only 3 debuted. And it won't work in Boys Planet either. And they don't need this G versus K concept either, since the debut teams aren't bad. They're just unacceptable considering the concept and idea they constantly want to push throughout the show. Not as much people would be mad with the debut teams if they stopped promoting the global idea. I can almost guarantee that the teams would be much more accepted and liked quicker if they simply made it a normal survival show. Lastly, the finale is officially next week, and NCT will most likely post the full current ranking a day or so before, like how they did in Girl Planet. However, it's not confirmed they'll even release the ranks, since the only reason they did it in the last season is because the team was made up of 8/9 Korean trainees. However, if they do release it, then this will lead to mass panic voting, where trainees that have dropped out of top 9 would most likely make it back up, or vice versa. Just vote for your pick no matter what. I still haven't chosen my solo pick, but it most likely will be Keita or Hanbin. Like I said, has safe, but I don't want another YENA happen never again. That's all for this video. What are some of your predictions? And who's your solo pick going to be? See you next week for the finale. Bye.